Hello everyone and welcome back to my stupidity. Yeah, I am so sorry for the lack of updates and everything, but I just school life is bad enough. I mean, it just depends, but online school has been kicking my ass, serving it up on a silver platter just to make fun of me. Like, okay, I get it. You don't gotta rub it in. But whenever it comes to my stupid accidents skateboarding, um I wasn't skateboarding in this. I had never attempted to skateboard before this incident. um you remember Hurricane Matthew? Anyone? I'm not sure if there's anyone that'll be able to comment that has suffered from Hurricane Matthew like I did, but I remember we had to go stay a week at my mom's boyfriend's house because he had a generator, and I didn't like him at the time, and I have my days with him. But at the time, we also had my grandfather before he passed away. Rest in peace, Grandpa John. He had just gotten his leg amputated, and he was in a wheelchair, so that led me having to be the hyperactive little child running across the house to do whatever he needed, whether it be help him with the laundry or just even sit in the living room and listen to his stories, because hey, he's my grandfather. He actually had interesting stories. And it was a lot to handle because my grandmother, I missed her very much, and my grandfather, that was like he lost the other half of him, and he really did love her a lot. And whenever his leg had gotten amputated, the whole reason it got infected in the first place and had to be cut off was because he kind of gave up when it came to living after he lost her. And to an extent, I do understand how he felt, because whenever my grandmother first died, true, I didn't love her like he loved her, but it took a toll on everyone. And whenever we went over to my mom's boyfriend's house, he just seemed fine. Him and my mom's boyfriend wouldn't really talk. They would just exist in the same room. And I would usually just go and retreat to my room, and I'd be on my electronics, like my phone and my laptop at the time. And I remember I had a really bad attitude whenever I was younger. I remember one time I was on my tablet, and then I gave attitude to my mom, and she popped me across the mouth for it. So yeah, and my grandpa witnessed that, and I was embarrassed, and I just sat in my room contemplating my actions, or if I wanted to run away. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't fun because I remember that incident because I was giving attitude. I can't remember if I directly gave attitude to my mom, her boyfriend, or if I even gave attitude to my grandfather, because it happened after my grandmother had died. He kind of got really snippy whenever it came to me. There would be times whenever he would flat out make fun of me, but I couldn't blame him for it. I mean, everyone has their moods, but it's not like he did it every single day, but he was definitely getting more irritable, and I didn't like it. So usually I would just go over to a friend's house somewhere where I wouldn't have to be around him. And my mom always got called to bring pizza home, so yeah, that's what developed my kind of hatred for pizza. I'll eat it if I have to, but I don't really prefer it sometimes. Breadsticks are fine though. But during this whole story, I had gotten attitude with someone, and my mom's like, okay, alright. And she's like, okay, so if you want to give attitude, then you can say goodbye to your electronics, because tonight's your last night with them. And then she grounded me. And I thought I'd be slick and hide my stuff, but I was stupid. I was a stupid little kid. And she found him pretty easily, and she took him away, and I just sat there with nothing to do. And I had to sleep with sound, and I had a little portable DVD player, and she even said, okay, you can only have it till 12. You have to be asleep, or else I'm taking it. And she walked in whenever I had it on, and she was like, Dakota, you need to go to bed. She said, turn off the DVD player, and I said, okay, Mom, and I didn't. And then she came back to check to make sure that I was asleep, and then she ended up taking that as well. So I really just had to sit in silence and sleep. But whenever I went back home, and I was so glad to be home because I was sick and tired of my mom getting irritable and embarrassing me in front of people, I just wanted to stay home. I honestly didn't care if she got upset at me or even if she kept my phone or my laptop for a longer while. I just wanted to be home with my dogs. And my dog Lily, tiny little black dog, she was a Peekapoo breed. I don't know if anybody knows about those breeds or not, but they are the common breed that I have always had throughout the years of my life. And I went outside and I saw that there was a tree, not a pine tree, but just a very tiny oak tree that had fallen down. The roots were tore up and everything, and I was like, oh wow, I want to walk across it. And it was fine. I was doing that little tightrope thing where I was just walking on it back and forth, and I turned around, and even Lily jumped up on the tree and started copying me. And I was like, aw, that's so cute. But I didn't realize that in my focusing on her and not focusing on me stepping forward on the tree, I ended up slipping, and I was trying to dodge Lily and not fall on her, and that ended in the tree sucker punching me right in between the legs, and I just fell on the ground, and I cried, and I dragged myself to the middle of the yard, trying to make it to the back door like a dying animal. And Lily, she had ran up to me, she was like circling me, and I was like, are you gonna eat me or something? Freaking B. Lassie, go get help, go get Mom. And then Mom came out the back door, she was on the phone, and she helped me up. And I was in jeans, and I had to change into more loose pajama pants because the jeans, they did not help. And it freaking hurt. And we got back in the car, and I was just a mess. I was just breathing weird, and I was just like, it would have been worse if I was a guy. It would have been worse if I was a guy. And then my mom was like, Dakota, stop complaining. But even then, we get hit on bone. Guys get hit on muscle and flesh. And I was like, but Mom, it still would have sucked. And I just sat there on the way back to my mom's boyfriend's house. I even got my electronics back that day, and I was wondering if it was because I earned them. No, I did not. Or if it was out of pity, and it was probably out of pity. And everyone asked me what happened. I was like, tree incident. I don't want to talk about it. It hurts. And then I just went back to my room, and I just laid there because it was painful. And honestly, whenever I remembered this, I was not really sure if I was going to tell this story because it didn't really seem like it had that much to do with it because it was just me pretty much doing the splits and the tree just sucker punched me in an area and it hurt. But my boyfriend was like, no. After hearing this story, I want you to do this story. And I was like, okay. So, yeah, I did this story. And pain is pain. I haven't been kicked there or hit there or punched there, so yeah, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Although usually whenever I get into playful fights with my boyfriend, either I put him in a headlock or I try to punch him or kick him there. Not the best thing to do. I'm sorry. Yeah, I usually feel bad and I apologize afterwards, but he knows it's gonna happen again, so obviously he doesn't really accept that apology, and especially it's how I say it sometimes too. So, yeah. Bye, have a nice day.